Yeah, absolutely. So triggers is really important. In a very simple way, a trigger is a simple if statement, right? So if this happens, then that happens. In reality, we never work on such a simple use case, right? The triggers are multiple and intertwined and hugely complex. So the first element is to think about how do we really understand and map out what are the triggers we want to use? How do we want to use them? And often we think about the happy path, right? When the customer order perfectly goes through, all these things happen, and that's great. But often the happy path is very easy to manage for. And it's how do we cater for that instance that something doesn't quite go right? And that could be many different things. I've seen issues where triggers fall over because the customer address is too long, too many characters long to fit in. And suddenly a system somewhere along the line doesn't know what to do with it and the whole thing breaks. So how do we make sure that we're testing through all of the variables, all of the potential failure modes for these triggers whilst building in the complexity? And then I also think as we're automating all of that, it's also important to think as a system, how do we have an escape hatch? An escape hatch to say, I don't know quite what to do with this.
Mhm.
I need some human assistance to step in because this is an instance that we don't know what it is. And that's great. It's much better to raise the signal and ask for help as a system, so to speak, than
Mhm.
try and process with errors or do something unexpected. And then we can learn, right, well, where is the system being challenged and where do we need to alter the automations? Or how can we perhaps think about new triggers or slightly different complex inputs to get the right output?